everybody, it is Liz with the Best of Magic Valley, featured by Refresh Marketing. Today we are doing a Magic Valley Business Spotlight with Gem State Infusions. Let's go inside and have a chat. All right, guys, we are inside. So we are with Millie. So Millie, tell us, what do you guys specialize in?
We specialize in IV vitamin infusions.
So the girls are in the back getting an IV infusion. We're gonna hook me up. What are the girls getting?
So Amanda is getting a metabolic energizer, and Jameson is getting a 𝗕𝗂𝘀𝗀𝗃𝗀.
Perfect. And what is Liz getting?
Liz is getting our weight loss infusion.
All right, I'm excited about that, I can tell you. So let's go ahead and get me hooked up.
Okay, let's do it. All right, so normally we start out with a baseline of vitals to see where you're sitting, because anytime we give you fluids, we don't want to be overwhelming your system. Your blood pressure needs to be sufficient. You filled out a history physical form. That's what allows us to practice safely.
Perfect.
Signed off by my partner, who is a nurse practitioner, and that's what allows us to be safe. We'll go ahead and run that real quick.
Oh, look at that. My O2, just to let everybody know, is 99.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful O2.
Great heart rate. Pretty nails.
Oh, thank you.
I do. I like them. Okay, so needle's out. It's just a plastic Cathlon that's meant to bend and move with your vein, okay? And I'm going to start the fluid. It's going to feel cold up your arm. That's normal. What's not normal is to have lots of pain or increased pressure here. Just speak up.
Okay.
Sometimes with these infusions, they can make your arm a little achy. We just slow down the rate, okay? But we're gonna go a little slow anyways. So here it comes. Again, it's normal to taste the vitamins. Some people like that, some people don't. And again, it could be normal to not taste anything as well. We're all different. So this is 100% into your bloodstream. That's why you almost taste it immediately if you do. So
Perfect.
Does that feel okay?
Yeah. All right, so we're all hooked up here.
Yes.
So
you're flowing good.
Yeah. Explain to me a little bit about your background and why you got into IV therapy.
Okay. I've been in healthcare for over 15 years. I've worked in radiology at the hospital for 15 years and love nursing. I get to do sedations there, and I was a charge nurse, and I love it. I love working with patients. My true passion for the actual infusions comes from my background of my own autoimmune diseases that I deal with. I got turned on to them through a naturopath who treated me with a lot of my symptoms with like a 𝗕𝗂𝘀𝗃𝗀𝗃 and different infusions that really helped with my symptoms. So the last 10 years, that's kind of been my treatment and what has turned me onto it and piqued my interest. And I get to do all the things. I get to conversate with people, learn about them, take good care of them, and help them all at the same time. So that's kind of what got me started.
That's great. So how many different kinds of IVs do you do?
Currently listed on our website is about 21, but the nice thing about having this be the focus of our business, we can customize any infusion, depending on what the client's needs might be. Okay. So that's part of our intake, and a lot of people call with questions like, what do you think I should get? We can kind of tweak and come up with different protocols to fit what your needs might be.
That's great. So explain to me, is it safe for everybody to get an IV?
Not necessarily. That's why there's a process. You have to fill out a history and physical form, and there's pertinent questions on there that have to be answered, and they're reviewed by my partner, who again is a nurse practitioner. And then also I interview you when you get here, and we go over your vitals. You know, if your heart rate's too high, you come in here because you're sick and you need a boost, I might listen to your heart and lungs and find that maybe you're not safe to have some fluids right now. And another example would be a lot of the pregnancy clients that we do. We always suggest or ask that they be seen by their provider and that it's okay with them to come and have an infusion with us, because we want to keep that open relationship with providers in the community. So the answer to that is no, not everybody is safe to have a infusion. I have had to turn away a couple people and actually direct them to the hospital where they've been seen and treated. So,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So the difference between an IV so I'm not feeling well, let's say, and I have a cold and I'm just going to boost myself up with vitamin C. What's the difference between me doing that and coming in and getting an IV?
Quite a difference. So when we take oral supplements, we're only absorbing like 20 to 30% of that. So it's not quite as efficient. When we can provide it through an IV, you're getting 99 to 100% of that right away. So people have immediate results. They feel great right away. They get that boost that they need, that hydration that they might be lacking in. So that's the benefit of IV versus oral supplements.
How often is it safe for someone to get an IV?
That's kind of the golden question. I get asked a lot, how often can I do this? How often can I come in and see you? That's a client-to-client basis as well. The closest that we would probably do vitamin infusions is 3 days, but typically the general recommendation would be every 2 to 3 weeks. I have a lot of clients that say, hey, this is my monthly maintenance. I do oil changes on my car. I take care of this on a monthly basis. This is going to be my general wellness. I'm going to come once a month and get an infusion.
Perfect. So what is your most popular infusion?
It's almost a tie anymore because NAD is huge right now for us. And of course the 𝗕𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗲 cocktail. That's definitely our favorite one.
So what is the NAD?
NAD it's a long word. It's nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It's a coenzyme that is found in our bodies where we all are born with a certain amount, and as we age and over time, we tend to lose it. And so it's nice to be able to supplement with it via IV because it provides energy to the cells on a cellular level. But yeah, it's a precursor to ATP, which is energy to mitochondria in the cell. And so what that means for the general public is NAD is basically providing energy to all the cells in your body. So when people who receive NAD, it has many benefits. They feel like they have more energy. They find mental clarity. They are even researching it right now for Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. And Harvard has just put out a recent study for preventative COVID and treatment for COVID. It's under peer review right now. But I guess NAD is mostly known for people who have addictions, and a lot of addiction treatment facilities like people to have NAD treatment because it helps them detox off drugs better. But my biggest clientele would be people business-wise who are stressed, kind of need that mental boost, the physical energy. I have a lot of people who are really into fitness, and they find that it really helps them reach their fitness goals. It helps with weight loss. And I do have a couple Parkinson's clients that are using it and finding that it does help with their symptoms. So
perfect. And then what's in the 𝗕𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗲 cocktail?
The 𝗕𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 cocktail is like the perfect umbrella infusion. It's got lots of vitamin C, B complex, magnesium, and calcium. So that's really good for inflammation, allergies, anxiety, fatigue, fibromyalgia, migraines. So it's kind of my umbrella infusion. If you come in and you've never had one, you're not sure what to get, you kind of have these different issues. Post-COVID, that's another good one to kind of give you that energy boost that you need. Most clients say that they sleep better, they feel energized, they have visual clarity. But yeah, that and the NAD has been huge for post-COVID.
Yeah.
So there's like a COVID brain fog that people are experiencing they're not able to explain. They'll come in, and I've even had them sit and do a 𝗕𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 cocktail and turn around and do an NAD, and they're finding really good results from that.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what is in my bag?
Your bag has B complex, vitamin C, triaminos, and some calcium. And so it's kind of that perfect blend to kind of help give you that boost metabolism-wise. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's another big one for us.
So do you have to be a certain age to get an IV?
Not necessarily age, but more weight-based. So I have done a 10-year-old and some 13-year-olds, but that's definitely client by client, depending on the weight. That's a little bit more. We take those very serious, so
Yeah.
it would definitely depend on the person.
Yeah.
The 10-year-old had had many infusions before. He just didn't want to have to be driving. Mom didn't want to have to drive him to Pocatello where they were getting infusions there. So
That's great. Yeah, I was thinking in my head when you were talking about the NAD, I was like, oh, those college kids during finals week.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're completely eligible because they would most likely be adult weight. So yeah, we could definitely provide that. And I have had clients say that they were able to pass a test that they had a hard time boards passing, and so they came and did NAD and were able to pass that with flying colors, and she contributed that to the NAD. So,
That's really great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So when people are getting an IV, I know that while I was pregnant, I was getting a lot of hydration IVs because I have some bad issues that happen. But are there any side effects that people need to look for, or that they should be leery about, or that, hey, I feel really great? So is it kind of an instant thing that happens, or is it over time these things start to take place?
It's a really good question. I like to call clients and follow up with them. So based off my experience, I can say some people might experience a headache after certain infusions. They say, I feel energized, I feel great, but is it weird that I have a headache? A lot of times that comes from not being hydrated properly before. Other people say, you know, I didn't really feel anything right after, but the next day I had so much energy, I slept really good. Again, we're all different, our diets are all different. Our sleeping habits are all different. Our life stressors are all different. So everybody reacts a little bit differently. Side effect wise, I would say it's mostly focused on the IV. You might have some bruising after. You might have just a little bit irritation there. We definitely would warn you. We have a discharge form. You know, any signs of infection or anything like that, we'd want you to come back in and be seen. But yeah, have yet to run into that. So
perfect. So I know everybody's body is different. How long does an IV usually take?
Again, we base it off of blood pressure and why you're getting the infusion. If you are sick or an elderly, young, but generally speaking, 35, 45 minutes. NAD is the only exception to that. It can make you sick while we're infusing it, or uncomfortable, I should say, is probably the better word. As we infuse it, it kind of rushes into those cells, and that's kind of a stress response from your body. People sometimes get a stomach ache. They might feel like a head rush. So that one, we just like to go a little bit slower and make sure that you're safe and having still a good experience, but that you're able to get through that infusion. So yeah, roughly about 35, 45 minutes.
It's not bad. It's like a lunchtime.
I have a lot of people pop in on their lunch.
That's great. 'Cause
Yep.
I know sometimes I was a slow dripper.
Yep, we're all different.
Yeah.
Our veins are all different too.
Yeah.
Yep.
What if people want to find out more information about the different ones that you offer? You said they're on the website.
Yes, they're all listed on gemstateinfusion.com. You can go to book online, and all the bookings are there. If you click on them, it tells you what exactly is in our infusions. The pricing is all there. One thing I will say is I almost always try to run a discount or a special. So for March, it's 15% off if you book 2 infusions at the same time. You want to bring your mom in at the same time, or your husband. We have that separate, more private room. We have couples that come in and do that. Or if you just book 1 infusion, it's 10% off. So I try to run a special for everybody every month. So
That's great. And what are your hours of operation?
they're kind of hit and miss, but I, generally speaking, work from 7:30 in the morning till typically 6:30 at night.
That's great. So
Yeah.
anybody can really book and see for different times.
Yep, and if you ever have questions, when you go to book online, it shows you all the availability. If there's something that you're not seeing, I'm very flexible. We just reach out to us, let us know, and we'll try to make something work.
That's great.
Yeah.
So final question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about the Magic Valley?
Being born and raised here, I have so much love for this area. The people are amazing.
So is the people.
I know.
It's
I
the
mean,
people.
really. And I know that we have a lot of influx of people coming in, and it kind of changes things a little bit. But just the little things like you guys even doing this, I think it's awesome to support small local businesses. And but mostly, I would say I'm in love with our landscape, and it's just beautiful here. So
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
yeah,
I'm
thanks for
excited to
coming in.
see how I feel after this.
I
and
can't wait to hear.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.